Welcome to the OPEX podcast. I'm Dave Claxton. This episode is brought to you by RamFit and AirRelax and Duonamic, all rolled into one, which would be really cool, actually. Very impressive system. And with me, as always, the lady of legitimate lunges, Bethany McChesney. That was Rice. She came up with that one.
Good one.
It's not bad. Well timed, well timed, well timed. We'll get to that later. All right, where do you want to start? We were supposed to have a guest, and unfortunately, things didn't happen. Life happened. So you got to deal with us. And I think, I don't know, but do you want to start with Chi Town?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Do you have the podium for men and women or no?
I do.
Like a dramatic reading of the men and women's elite podium by
Sure.
Bethany Chesney.
Top three.
Well, that is the podium.
Yeah, I know, but
You've been on enough. You should know.
okay. So, in Chicago, the men's pro podium. So in third place, we had Colin Stiefer, 58.13, Marcus Wallace, 57.33, and Rich Ryan with a 54.28.
I think before you say that, you have to put a holy fuck. 54-20. I think
Yeah,
it's appropriate.
very shocking.
All right, and do the women's, and then we'll go back to Rich.
Women's pro, we had in third place Bridget Brown
Loving Bridget Brown.
with a 105, Maria Fessick with a 104 low, and Jennifer Thompson with a 103 low.
I love all those women except Jennifer Thompson, who I have no idea who she is,
I don't know.
but I know she's damn fast,
Yeah. So she's 40 to 44 anyways.
which isn't very impressive. So I looked up her thing on High Results. Do you ever use that High Results webpage?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, it's really good.
I'm on it right now.
Are you really? Okay, and
Yeah.
so her last one listed on that was a 111.
Um, yeah, and a year ago.
Yeah, no, I was told she did another one that is like a 108, but it's not on there. But
Oh,
still,
okay.
a 108 to a 103,
Wow.
that's massive. And I mean,
Yeah.
your first question is, okay, did we have a fast course? But by other people's results, no. It seemed like a fair course.
Yeah.
Like,
Um, I mean, we do have some pretty fast times, I would say overall, and I mean, Rich ran a fast
yeah.
time. There is a lot of personal best here.
But let's take away Rich and take away Jennifer's, right? Take those two.
Yeah.
Maria Fetchik, even she was slower than she was in Toronto, you know. Bridget Brown's about where you expect. Marcus
No, that's a pretty big PB for Bridget, I think.
It wasn't okay. So Marcus
Yeah,
Wallace,
I did.
very similar
Yeah.
to his Toronto time. Colin Stiefer, kind of in that same area. Isaac, a little slow. It wasn't one of those courses where, like, I believe it was a good course, but I don't think it was an abnormally fast course.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe Jack Bauer will run it through his. Have you ever heard of Jack's system?
Yeah, I heard what
Yeah,
it's called.
his butt, where you got to run the course through
Yeah.
Jack's butt, and then you get what is
Yeah.
it? Bowers updated timing something or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it's great. So
Yeah.
you got to run the course through Jack's butt and we see if it's fast or not. But I'm willing to wager that it is very much kind of the median. I think it's probably right where it should be. I didn't see any outlandish uh, sled times or crazy run times or anything. I just think it was good. So had you ever heard of Jennifer before?
No.
No. And I was told she ran in track pants.
Okay, I saw that, and they were like flare bottom track pants. That's yeah.
Once you do something like that, though, you can't go away. You got it. You got to roll with it.
You gotta
This is
keep going in it.
this is the marquee. This is your brand now.
Yeah. That yeah. I couldn't do it.
Was it like the kind of track I didn't really take too good a look, but was it like the kind of track pants that like a lot of women for like wear for bedtime?
So I only saw far. I actually only noticed because I was watching Maria Fessick's live feed.
Yeah.
So then I saw her pass and I was like, no way that girl in the big pants won. And I think it was like the old school Lulus that
Oh
flared out
yeah.
at the bottom. That's what it kind of looked like to me.
Well, thank you, Mike, for doing the live stream so that we could watch it.
Hmm.
There was a couple other ones too, but his was actually quite good, as was Matt Mason's, who followed Rich around a lot. Um,
Okay.
so those were two good ones. Yeah, but yeah, she just did great. And I mean, I looked at her stations. Wow. She put in, I think it was like a 414 row or something like that. And that was
Oh, wow.
a long station. So there was a lot of time to be lost in entrance and exit and transition and then on and off the rower.
Hmm.
That was fast. Her wall balls could have been a little quicker, right? Like she's not quite up there with the Laurens and Megs and stuff who are doing like three
315.
315 to 310. And she was what, like a 350, 340 something.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
It's
So
still,
she maybe just put it down once.
yeah, it's still damn good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so it was just unbelievable run.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about some of the other stuff that I heard happened to us up later on. But and then Rich, like I've said this publicly and I'll continue to say it. I did not think he had it in him. I thought that maybe Rich might be on the decline a little bit. And I am humbled and I was wrong. And way to fucking go, Rich. Well done. Like just
Yeah, we were super excited to see that too. And Rich has raced Hyrox for a long time. And so you kind of hit a point where you kind of feel like an athlete is plateauing too, because
yeah.
he's been doing this for so long. So that's kind of where I thought maybe he was too. Like he's been maxing out his potential. But yeah, I don't know. I obviously don't follow Rich in his training, and so whatever he's been doing though, obviously he's really put his head down and put in some serious work and maybe change some things up for himself. So maybe it was the haircut.
That's what I said. It's the haircut. It's the haircut. And let's be honest, like Rich isn't getting younger. He's not the youngest guy out there, and Father
Yeah.
Time, as they say, is undefeated. So it was kind of
Hmm.
like, maybe, maybe it's finally caught up to him a little bit, but damn, like just
Hmm.
from the get-go, just looked so solid. And then once he came off the sleds and he was still increasing in speed, you're like, wow, this is his day.
Yeah.
And even at that point, I'm like, wow, he might crack that 57. He might, but
Hmm.
54? No way. I did not
Yeah.
see that coming.
So that does put him as the third fastest time ever.
Fourth. I think fourth.
Fourth?
I think so.
Oh, I thought okay.
Fourth fastest guy, not time.
Okay.
So I think you've got Hunter, Ronco, James Kelly, and then Rich.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah,
Mm.
I believe those are the ones who've gone a little bit quicker, but that is unbelievable.
Hmm.
The question is now, can his boy Ryan Kent answer the bell? They're gonna go because I think they're both gonna be down in Dallas next weekend.
Is Rich racing again?
I know he was planning to because I think Rich's plan was I got to go into Chicago and put in a good time. And if I
Because he
don't,
has to get two for an average.
that's right. And he's like, if I don't get a good time there, I got to bounce right back because he's only got certain opportunities. He says he's not going overseas to try to get anything over there, right?
Hmm.
And he wanted to try to get in the majors before the last chance qualifier. So, but with this time, he's etched himself in there. He's solid now, right? He's not getting bumped. So I'm going to assume he's still in Dallas, but maybe he's got different priorities. Maybe he might focus on a doubles or who knows what. I don't know. It could change. But yeah, he's locked in there now, and I think one of his good times comes off, so he still could use like another 57 or low 58s or something could really pay off in Dallas because I think he loses one of his next best time. I think if I'm understanding right, he's qualified for Vegas now, but then he loses one of his times, and if he doesn't improve that time in Dallas, he's not qualified for Glasgow
Okay.
because then his average drops down. You know, good system.
I'm confused. It's okay.
Yeah, well, we've been saying forever. Simplify, simplify, simplify. The double system will make it look so much easier and work
Yeah.
so much better.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so that was good. I did hear and I have received some message about some rumblings about issues in Chicago. Um, a lot of it we saw, quite frankly, they had the holding pen again.
Oh,
And that's yeah, there was some people apparently in there quite a long time. And I was told this time there was no chips timing them. They were told to time themselves.
what? You
Yeah,
oh, in the holding pen.
in the holding pen. Yeah, like how long you were in the holding pen.
And then what you tell the person after to subtract this time from your time?
I guess so. Because I'd have walked out of the how long are you holding pen? 25 minutes. I got in here yesterday. I actually
Wow, that's
I ran a negative 36.
bad.
Yeah, so there was that, and there was, and I will say straight out, I got it from Matt Mason, who was there. And I know he doesn't mind me saying because he just said so live. So he saw the women come into the wall balls and have no judges.
Like the elite women?
Yeah,
Oh my.
yeah. And this is keep saying it's overselling. You got to cut back, or you have to scale these waves, send these waves at appropriate times so that
Yeah.
you're not getting backlogged. Because what was happening is there was doubles women's in there when the elite women came in. So there just wasn't enough judges.
Mm.
And we know how hard it is to get judges, and quality judges especially.
Yeah.
So yeah, that they ran into the same problem they keep running into. I saw when we were on live, one guy chimed in. He said he came out of his wave in the elite wave and got to I think it was sled push, and there was no sleds
Really?
because it was all backed up. And it's just like, oh, so come on, guys, get it together.
Yeah.
We know you can. Just do it.
Well, I mean, I just, from a business standpoint, it makes more sense to me to have less numbers and give everybody an amazing experience than to upset a bunch of people and for them never to come back.
Yeah, yeah. You need the quality experience, or why would you come back?
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I think you could keep the same numbers of people, make the same money, but you take the waves and you're like, okay, we're gonna send men's pro doubles, men's open doubles, women's pro, women's. Now, probably not the women's open right away. Then we're gonna hit it with like men's elite, women's elite. Like send all the fast waves and slowly get down to the notorious slower waves, so people aren't passing. And then, like you say, we have 30 people in the corral. We have 30 judges. We know we're probably going to be good because there's not going to be hardly any passing, right? From the
Yeah.
wave behind to the wave in front. And
Mhm.
at least you have a way better chance of making things work that way, right? Because realistically, so by the time you get to the wall balls where you need the most judges, what's the chance of all 30 of the people in that wave getting there at the same time,
Right. Yeah.
right? Usually you get eight. So if they're not passing in the next wave, you should be good. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to do it the way they're doing it. I'm sure there's a logic that I'm not seeing, but I think my logic's better.
I think the holding pen is completely unacceptable.
Oh yeah, and especially now that it's becoming like commonplace. It's like, yeah, we expected. It's not acceptable at
No,
all. It
no.
if it like okay, so we're planning to go to Vegas. I was thinking of signing up for the men's pro wave. Which it turns out is Ryan and I are doing our doubles, which we love to do. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do a pro wave too, like I had planned to do in Toronto. And it ended up sold out anyway. But I was just like, then I thought to myself, if I end up in that holding pen, and I'm not someone who's at all a podium contender, not even in my age group at this point, I would be pissed. And then if I was someone competing against me and I ended up in that age group and got a rest before my wall balls, I'd be pissed too.
But the, does it show when you look at the results, is there like an asterisk or something that they were in the holding pen?
So you know how normally you would scroll down and you'd see a penalty?
Yeah.
There's also a line below that that says judge's decision, and it shows the time there that they've uh, credited you.
Oh,
So
Lack of judge's decision.
yeah, lack of judge's decision.
because it's such a, I mean, to give people a long break before going into wall balls, like,
hmm
hmm,
Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting.
it is. It is. It is. It is what it is. I mean, I do hope that they're listening. I do like people. Hyrox is seeming bulletproof right now, right? And they're so popular and they're doing great and they're making money and they're growing and they're growing and they're growing and they're growing. And to some people, they may seem like this is a an unsinkable ship. I'm going to take you back to 2015, 2016. Spartan, massive people, 15,000 at events, huge sponsors, Reebok,
Yeah, NBC.
NBC,
Hmm.
pro teams paying money out. And what happened? They didn't fix the little things and started to drop and drop and drop and drop. And Hyrox has the chance to avoid that fate, but they need to pay attention to what their core clientele is saying. And they need to, they need to not have an ego about it and go, we need to pay attention here. We need to realize that the customer experience is still the most important thing, whether it's from elite to the one-time off people to the slowest people out there. It's the
Yeah.
customer experience and the word of mouth and the reviews. That's what's going to get you. That's what's got them going so far. And now we're starting to see chinks in the armor, and they're yet to address them. And,
Hmm.
and we want them to, because God damn it, we want a good race.
Hmm.
All we want.
Yeah, and we want it to stick around and we want it to have integrity and a good reputation and
Like, I'm so stoked next weekend to watch Hong Kong. I'm excited. I can't
hmm.
wait. And I don't want that to go away.
Yeah.
So I need you guys to fucking get your shit together so you don't screw it up for me, solely, strictly for me. So I have something to watch and I can enjoy and I can cheer on my favorites, you know?
Yeah.
And people, I will continue to dump good money in if I'm having a good experience. But if not, nah, forget it. There's
Hmm.
there's a lot of other things to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
picture this in your mind. If I was CrossFit right now, who, by the way, is also having plenty of issues of their own, I'm in need of a facelift. I'm in need of a reboot. I'm in need of some good publicity. I also have a legion of bordering on cult-like fans. I'm going to make a mass participation race, slap CrossFit on it, and there's my positive thing. And I'll go head to head with Hyrox and capitalize on what they build. But I've already got my core market, and the CrossFitters will flood it.
Hmm.
That's your $1 million idea?
That's Dave Business 101.
You need a barbell.
Yep, you need a barbell.
Hmm.
But
Probably some toes to bar.
and who are we going to take lessons from if I'm running a mass participation in Hyrox or in Hyrox it's CrossFit?
Hyrox.
Well, them and RX1
Yes.
because they have learned many tricks to get it through. Biggest issue with Hyrox and setting it up. Oh, we're not holding. Okay, we're building a CrossFit event, Beth. Fuck all the rest of the shit we were going to talk about. Okay, you need a barbell, absolutely. But what's the biggest issue in putting an event together that these people are having? DECA has it, Hyrox has it, even RX1 has it.
Well, like besides volunteers?
No, that's it right there. Judges and volunteers.
Hmm.
So you have to minimize the amount you have.
Yes.
So how do we do that?
Well, the movements have to be ones that don't need strict judging.
Exactly, exactly. Not strict judging, but you need linear based distance so that one judge can judge five, six, seven people, like the burpee broad jumps, although there's issues with that. We'll talk about that later. But like the farmer's carry, like the walking lunges, where the judging is not as strenuous, where you got to count reps, where you got to be dead on with form. So we need linear base movements. So right away, tire flip.
Ugh. Well, and I mean, so the
Big.
reason tire flip got taken out of Spartan was transportation costs.
Yes, yes. So if you do it right, you can do the pig flip, which CrossFit already uses and their fans are used to. And they're a little more stackable than tires, I think. All right, some form of flip.
Dangerous.
Dangerous, you think?
Yes.
It is CrossFit though. Tough.
I know. Imagine that thing though, like,
The only thing we ban in CrossFit is bounding. Everything else is okay.
oh my gosh.
What, okay, so Rye asks, why is the flip dangerous?
Well, if there's people running in and out and that thing flips over on someone,
Yeah, I see that. I think you could mitigate that. I think we could mitigate that. And I mean, we've
people
done
going in different directions, like, I don't know.
yeah, but we've done flips many times at RX1 and it does work out pretty well there.
Yeah.
What if it's a
The
box,
pig is big.
like a pig, the pig
Yeah, the
box?
pig is
It's
big.
a
The pig is
box.
so what is the pure cube?
It won't roll. Like
The
go
problem
one
with the
direction.
pure cube though is like I would want the flip. The whole point of the pig flip and the tire to me is to mimic a deadlift, right?
Yeah. So I was at a strongman competition and there was something like a pig thing and um
Give me pig
it was
one.
actually disgusting. And they lifted it and they couldn't lift it and they went to drop it, but it dropped on their leg.
Now, granted, I'm sure that's a little heavier. We're talking mass participation weight we're going to go for here.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think it's a dangerous thing.
Okay, so
'Cause I've seen it once in competition and I saw someone get really hurt.
all right.
And it crushed his leg.
Well, that guy should have been there.
I was traumatized.
How about this? How about this? We go back. We take a step back. CrossFit's going to want to test certain things in their mass participation race. What would be straight movements? Don't if we don't think about reality, what would be the straight movements they'd want to do? Like I think deadlift is something they'd want to test.
Yeah, and like you need I think a dumbbell snatch lunge forward. So dumbbell snatch lunge forward.
So DB snatch, right? I
Yeah.
agree. Okay. Some form of squat. They're going to want to test some form of squat,
Mhm.
right? A pull-up of some kind, some form of a hanging thing.
Yeah.
What else do we want to do? Will they want to test?
No machines.
Do we want machines? Do we need machines? I don't think you want machines. I think we want a run. No machines,
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We can pull up, deadlift, squat. What else are our base movements in fitness?
Well,
There's
you
no,
need some sort like push. I think sleds are fantastic.
I agree.
Sit pull.
Yeah, now see, this is one I like to for Hyrox, they have the sled pull. I think that sled pull should have been a seated sled pull.
Where you have a thing you anchor your feet to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they do that a lot in strongman too. Um, what if instead of a tire flip, you had like a heavy bag where you have to get it on your shoulder, run it a distance, drop it, pick it up,
So
run another.
I would call that more like a clean.
Yeah,
Clean
sandbag,
Gary,
clean run.
a
Yeah,
la Deca Atlas,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right, so these are things they want to do. Okay, so deadlift, two options. One, a flip. The other one is again what we've done in Deca Atlas, dumbbell pick up and carry. Pick up,
Hmm.
move forward, pick up and move forward. Right? That's something we've seen work at RX1 as well. You could use dumbbells, you could use a hex bar, right? So
Yeah.
you like that one? Deadlift and carry,
Hmm.
DB snatch, dumbbell snatch. We said that. Pick it
With
up,
a lunge.
step
Yeah.
forward. Or you want to do a lunge with it?
Yep.
Ooh, so like snatch each time and lunge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
I think you could split
That would
those up into
separate
two.
them.
I think you could
I
split
do
those
like
into
it.
two. I like it's dirty. I like the dumbbell snatch, walk forward to the next line.
Didn't we do this? We did this in RX1.
Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah.
we not?
No, we didn't. Well, all we had to do was hold it up. We did the lunges holding it overhead. We didn't have to
You just
re-snatch
had
it.
to- yeah.
Oh, okay. It was the one on the beach. That one was
I don't
awesome.
remember yelling
Yeah,
at you
yeah.
to straighten your
Yeah, do you remember yelling? Yeah. You were yelling at me, put your shoulder to your ear. So what did I do? Turn my head down.
Yeah,
Put
tilted
my
your
head
head.
down like I was going to sleep on my shoulder.
You're doing way more work in your arm than you needed
They
to.
didn't go over there. There's
I
no
think you need to work on some shoulder mobility. It would
no
make those
room for
much
my
easier for you.
no room for my shoulder and my skull to get into the same spot. One is too big and it's not my pinhead. All right, so double snatch and walk. This I think is the trickiest one, the squat. How do you get the squat in there?
Yeah, because I mean, we talk about this more than any other movement with wall balls is the depth issue.
So and not just depth, but counting, right? So I mean
Yeah.
we could do what we've been saying forever, a box squat, right? Um over in the UK nuclear race, they have one where it's like they use a thruster where they have a bench they squat to and they have a it's almost like a gurney on a pivot point and they thruster the gurney, which is great, but you still need your form can't go wrong, but you still need someone to count.
Yeah.
So squat, we'll get back to that one. Pull up.
Hit,
No, I'm going a different direction.
what?
She thinks I'm going to say hip tap pull up, but I'm not.
I'm shocked.
Rope climb,
Yeah, yeah.
Rope climb.
rope climb. Easy to judge, no form, just
Yeah.
straight rope climb. And that
With legs.
what's that?
Mass participant.
Yeah, with legs. All right, sled pull, sled push, seated sled, clean and carry with the bag. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 movements. Do those. Run 400 meters around a regular track every time. There you go.
Perfect.
They would flood it. Especially if we really got a good. We didn't get the squat worked out, but we can get the squat worked out somehow. But they would absolutely flood it. The CrossFitters, you put the banners up, you whatever.
Get a rogue sponsorship.
Oh, yeah. Honestly. And maybe we could throw in one other kind of gymnastic movement too.
Well, like toast to bar
The toast
is pretty
bar, yeah,
basic.
pretty basic. But then again, you're dealing a lot of counting, a lot of judging. You got to
Yeah.
watch that.
Squat to the ball, clean and carry.
Oh, how about clean squat carry with the dead ball
Mhm.
or heavy sandbags? Clean squat
Yeah.
carry. That puts it into one there. And that's nasty, actually. I did that with a 100-pound ball because we had talked about maybe putting that one in Atlas, and it was
Hmm.
nasty. But the squats
Yeah.
were easy to watch because they were slow, and then you had to move on and move forward.
Uh,
So I like that one. I like that one. All right, I'm pitching this to CrossFit. I'm gonna talk to Carolyn. Saw Carolyn this weekend.
did she just race doubles? I was hoping she'd do a
Just
solo.
did doubles.
Dang it.
I had to talk her into it. She did have a blast. She really
Uh-huh.
enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it. She had fun. So change gears a little bit. We did Deca Strong at Farm Girl this weekend, and our friend Carolyn Prevo, games athlete, she came out and she did a teammate with a coworker. She definitely gave her coworker a great time, which was nice, which was nice. I'm not saying her coworker didn't pull her part. She did,
Hmm.
but I'm also not saying she didn't bring in a ringer.
Yeah, she did.
Oh man, her boxers were
Her box overs were so fast.
Carolyn's?
Yeah, and like
I
she'd
bet.
never done it before. And just flew. She's like, okay, because she's analytical. She's very analytical.
Oh
She's
yeah.
like, and
She's a
she's like,
math teacher.
yep. She's like, come here. Is this right? I'm like, yep. She's like, okay, I got it. And then like she's a couple of teams back in the line, and then she looks over, she's like, hey, and just looks at me, and she like kind of signals to you to watch her. She does a couple lunges. She's like, good. I'm like, yeah, those are good.
She's like learning in the lineup.
Learning in the lineup, yeah.
Oh,
And
I wish she did a solo so bad.
I say, so okay, so I mean, obviously Carolyn's not a huge person, so the machines would slow
As
her.
in she's 5'3", but she's very strong,
Oh, very, very strong.
obviously. Yeah.
And when I say her machines would slow her down, I
Her
don't.
ski sprint was like a 130.
Yeah, I mean, when they were rotating, yeah, she was 100 hitting 130 pace on the ski sprints for yeah, switching back and forth. So when I say to slow her down, I don't mean slow. I just mean
Oh my God.
that would be her weaker portion. Um, she did the whole bike, and I think we were looking at like a one,
I
like
didn't see it.
it wasn't the fastest bike I've ever seen, but it was not terrible either.
Wasn't slow.
I
Yeah.
I believe somewhere between 1 and 130 for the relay
I
effort.
would I would have assumed that. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said of the machines that is her weakest one.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Everything else was lightning fast.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Burpees.
I think she would have been mid 12s.
By yourself?
Yeah,
That's what you did in your team.
mid to high 12s in her first thing. What's that?
That was her team time too.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I hope someone's not listening. They know.
They know.
They understand. Yeah, I'm gonna guess mid to high 12s for her first one.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then I believe her and Lexi would have the capability to
Smash.
push for world
A
record
world record? I think so.
because Lexi
Isn't she?
is a beast on the machines.
Uh-huh.
That's her jam. So maybe one day we'll get them out there both at the same time and
Yeah.
see what they can do. At the same thing, we did have Chelsea and Amber try to push for the record again. They did come up short, but had a great run and are looking very prepared for Worlds. We had, and by the way, everybody who came out, we were not expecting the numbers. We thought that this would just be a throw in November and we'd get, it was mostly put on so that the girls at the gym who haven't got a chance to try, because we had a real uptake in interest, would get a chance to try. And
Hmm.
it just kept selling out. So it was a bit of a surprise. But it was a pleasant surprise and we had a good time.
Hmm.
I don't know what else to mention about it other than probably see the next one in November. And thank you everyone for coming out. All the support from gyms like Pure Impact and everybody else that came out of there. All the community come out again. Everybody.
Yeah. Hmm.
I got to scream at a lot of people, which is what I like to do.
A couple of new fans.
A
Hmm.
couple of new fans, probably a couple of people who hate me now. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
And I put in a good time myself. So PR'd my ruck by 20 seconds.
Good job.
Which puts me atop of the 2025 over 45 Ruck Strong leaderboard, which has, once they get my name up there, 7 people. It's early, but I'll take it.
That's okay.
And another one, gonna toot my own horn here, and my teammates' horn. We put in we put in a good time. Ryan and I again were 1 second off our PR.
Hmm.
But Juan and I put in a time better than we expected, which we were happy to do. So we were 10:19, which puts us in good fighting position and atop of the 100 to 119 leaderboard for 2025. I haven't checked how many people there are on that one, but it's probably 7. No, it's early in the year.
Hmm.
It was really good. It was a really fun event. We did miss you, as always. Well, except for when we don't miss you, but that time we did. It was a good time. All right. Should we get back on track?
Yes.
Gossip.
Well, that was part of we were gonna get to that anyways, but
Yeah.
I feel like we have some things to talk about still.
Oh, yeah. We went way off the rails with that CrossFit thing. But it's true. I think
Dave saw a shiny object and went for it.
yeah. You know what? I often, I said one time that I've envisioned my own death. And I'm going to see one of those shiny propellers on a trailer hitch in front of me and just get so distracted and drive straight into the back of a truck. Okay. I do believe that though, that CrossFit is one of the few entities right now that could step forward and put out an event that would take hold right away and garner an instant audience.
Yeah.
I think
Because that community is looking for something to cling to right now.
they need a high. They need an up.
Yeah.
Because right now they're still suffering from a major down and no relief has come in sight.
Yeah.
It's just piling on and on and on. And other leagues now saying they're going to form up, and Rogue Invitational looking like a better event than the games.
Yeah.
No news on when the Open's going to be. And
I know. And we're talking like 2 months away now, really.
yeah, so they haven't announced any kind of schedule. And I'm just like, they need a win.
Yeah.
So, hey, CrossFit, give me a call.
Yeah, they're listening.
They are listening, I'm sure. Well,
Hmm.
somebody who does CrossFit might be listening. Like one person, maybe. Carolyn might be listening. She's got some say. She's got Rogue. Rogue should do it. She's she's got pull with Rogue. I'm gonna call her right now. No. Okay. So talk about Hyrox Chicago. Hyrox Hong Kong.
Yeah.
All right. That's the next major coming up. That's next weekend. Must see TV. It is on Friday at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can watch before class.
Yeah, it's true. I'll be up.
I I know they do the Friday starts for a good reason. It's so that they can put more people through on the weekend, so more people can come to the event, and that's great because I mean they sell out so much, but a lot of people want tickets. Um, but yeah, I wish it was Saturday because I want to go to the whole have everybody over, get some food, watch the big
I know.
race.
I totally would.
Like
Yeah.
wouldn't you like to fill up your gym with people, put it
A
on.
viewing party.
Yeah.
I totally would.
Oh, that would be up. I would drive the 2 hours to your gym for a Hyrox viewing party.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I'd sleep in the van or on the gym floor or whatever.
The last Hyrox, the last major or whatever, I did like I rode the whole workout. I mean the whole Hyrox race.
Yeah, yeah, I've done
Just
that
in the
before.
other yeah. I'm like I get really anxious watching a race if if I'm not doing something anyways, so
Very motivating too. Like you're
I
watching.
know.
And the time goes by really. You can put in 2 hours on the bike and not even know it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So yeah, I wish it was. But yeah, so 4:30 in the morning, you can go on YouTube and click the notifier so it'll notify you when it's time to do so. Like, subscribe, and notify, all that stuff. So Hong Kong, we thought that this might be a chance for some Elite 15s who to get roll downs, some people to get roll downs because some of the big
Yeah.
names wouldn't go because it is so much travel. And again, we were wrong.
Yeah, I was shocked at this list to be honest. Um, I mean, we have the only real glaring name missing is Meg. So with on the women's side,
Yeah.
anyways.
So go through who you got on the women's side. You have that list?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Lauren Weeks, Viola Oberlander, Linda Meyer, Joanna Wurtzik, Lauren Griffith, Kate Davey, Ida Matilde, who's this is going to be her first major now. She just put in her second qualifying time. Zara Piergiani, Lena Putters, who I'm not very familiar with her.
No.
Michaela Norman, we're seeing back. Um, hopefully she's over her illness stuff. Sika Arning, Jana Liebenstade, Jessica Petrov, and Alina Brower and Jess Toll.
So other than what's her name, Putters being
Yeah,
after a new name on the field, those are all familiar names.
yeah, yeah. A lot. This is a very large German contingent here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight Germans.
Well, Miss Hyrox.
I know.
Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, the big name missing was Megan. Meg actually at the beginning of the year had said she would be at Hong Kong. I
Mm.
guess, maybe after qualifying in the first one decided I don't need to make this trip. It's not
Yep.
really, risk reward. Maybe it interferes with her training, whatever. So she has decided, she hasn't really publicly said, so she's decided that she's not going to be there. Which is probably good news for more of the women there than not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we'd be penning Meg into a podium spot if she was there. So
Yep.
jumps out at me. Interesting ones there. I mean, obviously Lauren's going to be Lauren. She's going to do Lauren things. To expect different would be kind of silly. I'm excited to see Viola and Linda get back out there.
Yeah.
But a name that interests me is Ida.
Yes.
She's taken a step forward on this. She kind of seems to be out of OCR season now. Is she an outside shot at a podium?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Ida, I know she's really this has been one of her major goals is to get into the Elite 15. And Ida's a full-time athlete. Um she's really strong. Obviously can run from the OCR background. Yeah, I absolutely think that she can. Mhm.
Yeah, I
But I mean, when you look at this list, it's like, with Viola and Linda and like these are our names though that all have that's a I think we could end up with like 4 or 5 women all with fighting for that second, third spot.
so I mean obviously okay, let's just we got Lauren, she's in there. I find it hard not to put Joanna as strong as second. I mean, she has just been solid and she's on the upswing. I can't not put her on the podium, which leaves one spot left for a lot of amazing women to fight over.
Yeah.
Like you say, Viola, Linda, Ida, Joy, like there's just everyone on that.
Kate Davies having,
Yeah, Kate Davey.
yeah,
Like I'll be straight out. I'll tell you my podium already is I have Lauren, Joanna, and Kate Davey.
yeah.
And but if Viola gets in there, am I going to be surprised? Hell no. Linda? No, why would I ever be
Linda,
surprised with Linda?
yeah,
Linda's one of the few women who have actually beat Lauren or Meg. She may be
yeah.
the only one. Like, and yeah, and then like we said, Ida could catch lightning in a bottle. There's really strong women in that field.
Well, sorry, Michaela Norman has beat them.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And there's another
Hmm.
one. If she's healthy,
Yeah.
she was she was the next one until she ran into health issues.
Yeah.
Remember when we were in Chicago and she won there and like she fell hard on the first lap
Yes.
and got back up and stole the chalk and beat everybody.
She did run away with the chalk pin.
That's a dirty move. We're like, is that legal? Like, I don't think you should be able to do
Yeah.
that.
Going into farmer's carry, she grabbed the bin of chalk and ran with it and took it with her.
Shrewd. It was very shrewd.
It was, yeah. Some girls
So,
were pissed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, great field. I look forward to that. Who do you think? What do you got? You got the same thing or you got?
Um, yeah, I mean, based on what we saw at the last race, I think that's pretty fair to say. I don't know Viola and Linda what shape they're in, and they were sick a couple weeks ago, so
Hmm.
who knows?
All right. What about the dudes? Who do we got for men?
Okay, on the men's side, we have Alexander Rankovic, Michael Sandbach, who again missed the last major, so he again was having some health issues. We have James Kelly, Paleo Mendes Fernandez, Rylan Chadig is back, Bo Willis, Yannick Zapla, Thomas Verdick, Tim Vinich, Joffrey Voisin, Jonathan Wynn, Jake Dearden, Graham Holiday, Sebastian Iverson, and Sadiq Elfituri.
All familiar names
Yeah.
and not much roll down. I like very much. Obviously names missing that we would think about to be in there. A lot of some North American names. Hunter, Kent, Dylan would probably be the big three that you would be missing there.
Yeah.
Um, so questions arise. One, first off, can Alex maintain his dominance? And this would be, let's call it a third major win in a row. It's world's the first major. Can he keep on going on it with his goal to win every major this year?
Yeah, I think Alex Rankovic can.
Yeah.
Yeah. On this list, so Michael Sandbach and James Kelly are probably going to be the two that are giving him his biggest run for his money. Um, Rylan Chaddick again, if health
Yeah.
issues are,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna disagree. I think Rylan gives him his bigger running. I think Rylan has a better shot at giving him a challenge than Sam Batch does.
yeah,
And maybe I'm that guy who consistently doubts Michael Sandbach, which I am. Admittedly, it's nothing personal. He's too inconsistent.
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't bet money on him.
No, no, no. And again, not surprised when he does well,
Yeah,
but I'm also not surprised when he goes and takes a walk.
yeah.
You know, so, but I also have heard that I think he has, like you say, he's had a little bit of health issues, which means I don't think he's at 100%. And I
Mhm.
heard Rylan saying that he's feeling quite good. And a quite good Rylan is quite scary.
Yes, it is.
You know, we know that if he's healthy and he has the ability to be one of those guys, like going last year, he was the guy we thought, hey, this is a guy that can upset Hunter.
Yeah,
And if he was that guy, he's the guy that can upset Alex. So I
yeah.
I got I think Ryland's gonna do well. What about JK, who has been nothing but consistently better and better and better?
hmm Yeah, I have no reason again to believe that he couldn't be, vying for that second or third spot after Ronkovich.
He
If I was going to pick my podium.
he was one wall at one time, one wall ball within one ball, excuse me, within one wall ball of Alex Ronkovich at the last major.
Yeah,
A couple of no reps and he's there.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't doubt JK. I mean, the best transitions in the game. Nobody gets in and out of the zone
hmm
of the station is better than James Kelly. Like he comes out and sprints off of every station and
hmm
sprints into them. I think he's obviously been training very well, but I think he also is mentally very sound. His intellectual game is very strong. So yeah, I mean, again, my podium, even though I say he has a chance, Alex, Kelly, and Shadag.
I like that podium.
I think this is an important race for Ryland too, because right now we all know Ryland is qualified for Worlds, but he's not qualified for the majors. If he doesn't put in a good time here, when his old time comes off, he's got one good time and one bad time, and he becomes not qualified for the rest of the majors, but still remains qualified for Worlds because it's a great system.
Yeah, that, that's confusing.
Yep, but here we are. Let's go back to where I said before, long ago. This system is marginally a small step forward and possibly a step in the wrong direction. Stand by that.
hmm
Every now and again, I get something right.
Yeah, it's just super confusing. And, we have these situations like that where things just don't really make sense. So, when do you think we're going to see Hunter?
Vegas.
Last chance?
Vegas isn't last chance, is it? Is Vegas last chance?
Oh, no, it's not.
No, Vegas was a major. Last chance is where is last chance? Chicago's Worlds. Vegas is the major. Is the last no last chance is overseas, isn't it? Because we got Worlds here, so it makes sense that the last chance would be overseas. I think it's overseas. Anyway, no, I think Hunter at Vegas will be that's where he's going to push
Okay.
for. I expect, you know, he doesn't race a lot. So with him having to be able to pick his spots and just go into whatever major he wants, I think that
Yeah.
one suits him well. It's close to home. It's an easy travel. By
Yeah.
then also you'll have six, I think it's six or more guys qualified. So that eliminates some
Or
of the
last.
competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm calling for Vegas. Um, who else in this field do you think like is shocker potential?
Um, like Paleo also. If, if the sleds are moving easy and those stations that slow him down are less of a factor, then Paleo is always he's a threat too with his running.
I think you have that top, like the women's, right? We kind of listed off the top two, and then a lot can happen. With the
Yeah.
men's, I think it's more like a top five, and then a lot can
Yeah.
happen beyond that, right? So you've got
Yeah.
Alex, JK, Rylan, Paleo, and who am I missing there? Is it Alex, JK, Rylan, Paleo? Yeah.
Stand by.
Oh, Sam Batch. And then I think the rest could be
Yeah.
in any order from top to bottom.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it should be it's gonna be an exciting race. It'll be done, and the coverage has been fantastic, and I don't expect to see anything different.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
4:30 in the morning, get your friends over. That's a work.
I'm gonna put it on at the gym.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they'll let me put it on at work. Maybe, maybe not. All right. So that's Hong Kong. We won't give this as much time as we originally talked about. It's a little controversy corner. All right. We'll start with
Like Coach's Corner.
the coach's corner. By the way, saw a thing about Don Cherry the other day, and I miss Don Cherry. Hockey intermissions are not the same without him.
No.
And nobody has said so many horrible things that they should have got canceled for, and then finally got canceled for saying these people.
Oh, I know.
I have a sweater that says "Merry Christmas, these people," or "you people," or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh man.
All for trying to tell people to wear a poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And after years of bad-mouthing Sweden and immigration,
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
timing is everything. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah. We know they were just looking for an out.
yeah, absolutely. There was a time where I thought he could have been a write-in prime minister. Like enough people loved Don that they would have wrote in and voted him prime minister. Okay, how far off is Don Cherry than Donald Trump?
I was gonna say,
It's,
is it Canadian
That's
it's
company?
fair.
not
That's
much
fair.
different. It's not much other than Trump had a lot more money than Don Cherry.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's enough politics. Controversy corner. So Rich Ryan and the burpee broad jumps. Do you want to lay it out or do you want me to?
So with Rich Ryan's burpee broad jumps, there was just he was definitely pushing that line of how far he could go before I think a judge would call him with his stepping up as his hands moved. Um,
So
so yeah, and it was very obvious on some videos that we saw.
my problem with it was this was, I think I saw Hunter do this first. Bring your
Yeah,
hands down to the ground right in front of your feet, and then when you jump your feet back, shoot your hands in front like another friggin' foot and a half.
yeah.
So you're bringing your hands down to an allowable level within the 12
Hmm.
inches. And then when you straight your feet, shoot your feet back, your hands shoot forward past that allowable level. And this is why, and Ryan brought this up earlier, this is why we said you have to have those lines there because it makes that easy to see. And it is easy to see on the video.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
want to hear a little math?
Okay.
Let's say he gained 25 centimeters each time he did that, right?
I don't think he was gaining that much.
You don't think so? I bet you it's pretty close.
No.
25 centimeters, less than a foot.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big. I think it was like a couple inches each one. Now we're switching units here.
You go
Like
back. I bet you it was
10
close.
centimeters.
I bet you it's closer. We go back and looked at it.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to that because I think it was pretty close to that. I actually heard some people say more than that, and I'm like, no. So anyway, let's just say for argument's sake, 25 centimeters, less than a foot of gain on each one. Burpee broad jumps, let's just say 40, 50, even 50, right? Whatever. Over the 80 meters, that's a 12.5 meter gain.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So even if you cut that in half,
Uh-huh.
right? So now we're talking, say 7 meter gain, 6.5, 7 meter gain. You cut that back, and that is only gaining like 4 inches per one. That's massive,
Yeah.
right? And I still argue. I say 25 centimeters is probably really close. So if you're thinking it's not worth a lot, it is worth a lot. Would anyone else have touched Rich? No. Would he have corrected it if the judge told him to? Yes.
Yeah.
But, and they may have, because I mean, the video we saw, it looks like Christian is going over at that time, even though he should have done it way earlier, but was going over and pointing to the judge at that. I was told that he actually got some outside voices telling Christian, hey, that those burpees are no good.
Mm.
So he got
Hmm.
involved. So that to me was the big thing. Now, here's the rub, and you're gonna like this. Hyrox set precedent a little while back when a guy took a couple of steps on lunges and they went back and added 6 minutes to his time.
But the lunges one was like blatantly terrible cheating.
Now, you could say that this one, right, is a known way to do it, and people have done it many times, and it's been outlawed and it's been reviewed, and we've seen Meg called back for it. We've seen Hunter called back for it. I think we've even seen Lauren called back for it. No, sorry, not Lauren, but Meg and Hunter definitely both got called back for it quite a bit. So it's a known violation. Yeah, it's a known
We've seen, and
strategy.
Megita does it.
There you go. That's who I was thinking of, Megiddo.
Yeah.
So,
Megita's even been told to correct it and doesn't correct it in Chicago last year.
well, there you go. That's another story. Megiddo works for the company. He's got pull. No, I'm kidding, Dave. But yeah,
Anyways, we've
anyway,
seen it.
so
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is this as silly looking as the lunges were? No. But the lunges were only like 3 steps. Like he only did it 3 times, and then the judge made him stop. So, and they gave him 6 minutes.
Oh, I thought he did it that way the whole time.
Oh, no, 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 no. So
Oh,
I'm just saying, and obviously I think it's a ridiculous notion. I'd be annoyed if they did it. It's dumb and they should never do it, but they did it.
yeah.
Precedents, and they never once said we regret doing this or this was wrong or la da da. They said it is so theoretically they could go back and put in a penalty. And a day later, I'm just saying,
Oh,
it points out
yeah.
how stupid that idea is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's the impact on that is just too great.
Mhm. Yep. So now other people would say, if I'm Sean Noble, I'm like, what the fuck? You guys went back and docked me. There it is right there on a video. It's plain and simple. I was running a time that would have qualified me for the Elite 15. He's running a time that's going to qualify for the Elite 15. Why is he treated different? And it's, you might not agree with it, but it's a legit argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for those of you who wondered when I didn't give Jack Bauer the penalty, this is why. Because it's freaking stupid.
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box and it's dumb.
Well, and I mean, we said that's what was going to happen
Mhm.
when they gave that 6 minute penalty to Sean Noble. Was it you're setting a precedent that you don't want to go down that road?
No, no. And I mean, like I said, we we hold other companies, race companies, Spartan, DECA, Deadly Dozen, when RX1, we hold everybody else accountable. You got to do the same with Hyrox. And in this case, this just is it's just me pointing out a mistake that I wish they would rectify and say, we will not do this again.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's that one. Other controversy. We're not even the one you're thinking about yet. Women, elite women coming into the wall balls, no judges. Originally, what I saw in the video was I saw what looked like about a fourth place woman coming in later on in the background when it seemed the first top three had judges and she didn't have a judge. And eventually it was Christopher Koloski who seemed to come out of nowhere to start counting for her after about 10 or 12 reps or something like that. By the way, the girl who was in fourth place was doing very good reps.
Hmm.
They looked quite
Did,
good.
did Chris like hop the fence and go in?
I didn't see her go in, but she came out there and she was not wearing a judge shirt. She looked like she was wearing the shirt she just ran in. I think she had just ran women's doubles and then just jumped over because she saw whoever it was didn't have a judge and just started counting for them.
Yeah.
But I was told from someone who was there firsthand that at one point the top women coming in did not have judges at all.
So did they just start counting their own?
Yeah. I mean,
Anything else to say about that?
is it anything even more than what we said about the holding corral? This is not acceptable.
Yeah.
It's
So
the top three women.
yeah.
If it's like the eighth, ninth, and 10th, and they all came at once and caught you off guard, maybe you can see that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're not ready for the top three.
Yeah. And you know when they're coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, the guy in the loudspeaker is telling you they're
Yeah.
here, they're here, they're there, they're you know.
Yeah. You got to get someone in there.
And there was a little gap too. It's not like I said, it's not like all four showed up at once. There was some
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the Kindle person said about the sled.
Yeah, yeah. We had someone on the live tell us that they get to the sled and there was nobody there, no sleds. First and pro wave, and there was no sleds.
Yeah. Not good.
Anyway, unacceptable. Please, please, please fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. And we know how. Like I said, we stated how to fix it. You get the
Mhm.
wave orders right, and it's fixed. You don't need a holding corral. You don't have to worry about this. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Um, all right, enough picking on Hyrox. Let's pick on Deca. So the Deca controversy this week has been from a couple of videos of lunges and lunge form. And basically, I will say some of the lunges and some of the stuff I've seen has not been up to par. There has been others that people are like, I don't like the look of this, but it is per the rules and it's fine. So there's definitely a difference. However, and I'll say this from knowledge, there is a trend to the super big heavy lean forward, which is not really what they want to see. So for people out there, do not be surprised if that is going to change. Um, it's not an ergonomic, like, I mean, you as a fitness person, would you ever tell anyone to do a lunge that way as a coach,
No.
right? And would you deem it as, I don't want to say dangerous, but high risk for injury? Higher,
Yeah.
higher risk for injury?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. So I think that you're going to see change in that, and I think that's why. So yeah, just be prepared if you're a DECA person like us and doing that stuff. I believe the winds of change may be a brewing. Is that the right way? Is that the phrase? Winds blowing. Winds of change would be blowing. Brewing doesn't make any sense. It's late. It's time for bed.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, is that something that should change?
Um, yes, I mean, from a perspective of it, I think full hip extension should have always been in there. It's hard to judge, I know. And full knee and hip extension should have just always been. Like any other competitions we've done, like with RX1 and stuff, it is just the standard. And I think if it's not there, then people are always going to find kind of awkward ways to do it that you would never naturally do in the gym if you're performing the movement. Um, so yes, I do think it should be.
Yeah. Um, it is hard to argue.
Mhm.
Like, the question becomes and I'm gonna be honest, is timing, you know,
Mhm.
and is it right to change it now? If they do for sure, but if they do change it now, is it right? There's definitively an argument both ways, but I would say that if it is gotten to the point where we're seeing people putting themselves in a hazardous state,
Mhm.
creating a unacceptable risk reward for injury,
Mhm.
right? Then you address that as soon as you can. You don't wait on that one, right? I mean, like what Rogue did when they realized, you know, we're we're popping Achilles here. We need to change it. So obviously it's not that to that level or that same thing, but when they saw a safety issue, they had to address it. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if you have to stand up a little more straight. And I'll leave it at that.
You're warned.
I think that's vague enough, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's straightforward.
Yeah. Anyway, it's probably something that should happen. I think you're right. I think you're right. It should have happened day one.
Mhm.
But Day one is long gone, and the question becomes, do you stick with what you did day one, or do you try to fix it and move things and make things better? And I think I'm a believer in trying to make things better.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I think we've insulted everybody enough. Is there anyone we didn't insult today?
Let me think.
Give
We
give
didn't
us
mention Spartans, so they're off the hook this week.
give us
Oh no, we did a
something
little bit.
give us something nice to think about, Beth. Do you have anything nice to think about?
Well, Dallas is coming up this weekend,
Very exciting.
and we do have some very exciting people doing a Hyrox for the first time.
Bear Nick.
Thick Bear.
All right. All right. All right. Nick Bear over under. You remember we did this is Bethany betting. Here we go. Bethany betting. Nick Bear over under 60-30.
Under.
Under 60-30.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Under I will take the over,
Okay.
even though you gotta let you have the choice. And I will be willing to wager this pen. And don't I like this pen. And I could be in trouble because it is Riley's pen I have just wagered.
You wagered your wife's pen.
Yeah, as long as I don't wager my wife, it's okay.
You're gonna lose it.
All right. And in return, if I win, I would like
Pizza.
no,
What?
I'm gonna go off the rails here. I'm going off the rails here. If I win, I would like an autographed Fit Farm towel.
Autographed by who?
Clyde.
And
I
nose
want a
print.
paw print.
Oh.
No,
Obviously.
I want a paw an autographed Clyde towel versus Riley's pen.
Deal.
All right, cool. Well, good luck to everybody that is going to Dallas. Good luck to everybody in Hong Kong. Thank you, everybody who came out to DECA. Bethany, get over your cold. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. And until next time, keep crushing it.
And we'll get around to insulting you too.